Hello, everybody. So it's back to the podcast time, and we're recording on November 24th, 2013.
Today's discussions include the PlayStation 4 and Xbox release,
early content releases,
Bitcoins,
and that's all on the one and only Temporary Podcast.
We're back.
Yeah.
It took us 5 months, but we, my friends,
You guys have asked for it, and we are back.
we're back.
Hello.
All right, so welcome back, everybody, to Temporary Podcast, and we are streaming live every Sunday from here on out.
Yeah.
yay!
Sunday.
Please don't make it the motto. Let's not do that.
Sunday.
So we got a new crew. Before it was just me and Alex, and we had an occasional guest. So we're gonna go around and meet them. I'm gonna do some fancy stuff.
I see what you're doing.
Fancy.
So I'm gonna talk first. Give you guys into what we're gonna do here to introduce yourself. I'm MC Gamer, and this week, what have I been? I've been playing A Link Between Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
Watched some Doctor Who, and have I been playing anything else? I played Minecraft. I do that occasionally.
Really?
Sometimes
Yeah, really.
you play games, sometimes fast.
I did play some Yoshi Design. I did the race and I won. So
Have you been playing any Castlevania lately?
no, I finished Castlevania. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done with that.
just done. Never touching it again.
What have you been playing, Steph? Or what have you been playing?
Fruit Ninja.
Is
Oh
it-
yeah!
Bravo,
Hardcore game in the
bravo.
house.
Hey, it's a game. It's
Hardcore.
legit.
Yep.
Have you at least been watching some? By the way, this is Steph.
Hi.
Hello.
Have you been watching anything?
Yeah, but did you watch anything? Netflix or
No.
did you go to movie theaters?
Oh, I watched Catching Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
I
you
am
watched
jealous.
something. Congrats.
I haven't seen it yet. I didn't get to go to the release because I forgot when the release was and I didn't get tickets in time.
It's a beautiful movie.
I've read the books.
What are you doing tomorrow?
I work till 10.
Do they have showings after 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plans. We may plan. Oh, by the way, a note, because I forgot to mention this in our podcast briefing. Careful with the table. Very, very loud noises may disturb our pretty microphone. So.
Just this guy, what he's been doing, 'cause it's probably more interesting than what I've been
Okay,
doing.
what have you been doing, Dyer?
Streaming Battlefield 4.
Jealous.
What else? Oh, and the new XCOM DLC.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
I've heard the new XCOM is really good.
Well, I mean, new XCOM's good. It's not necessarily the same as it was back
Right.
in the day,
Yeah.
but it's definitely its own game, and it's really good.
I watched Yahtzee's review on it, the
Yeah,
Zero
I haven't
Punctuation.
watched it yet.
Zero
Oh,
Punctuation.
He
Zero
hates the
Punctuation.
new one.
Hey, it's okay if you
Well, he
hate
hates
it, but I mean,
everything. That's what he does.
The only thing I've watched that he didn't hate was the new Wind Waker.
Well, yeah, I mean, I mean,
like
he's a. I don't want to say less aggressive angry video gamer, but the angry video game nerd. That's his thing. Was he hates everything he plays.
Yeah,
So,
but he still plays it.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
All right. Next up? What have you been playing, Alex?
Oh boy, I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft as usual, but mostly I've actually not been gaming.
Sean!
I've been doing some contract music writing for a movie that's being done on campus. So
Wow, really?
That's been
On
my main
campus?
focus at the college
Okay.
in our local area. That's been my main focus for like the last week and a half. But I did play a little Majora's Mask last night and a little the
Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah, the Wii Sports Resort with my girlfriend because she had never played it before.
Say hello to our casual gamer of the week, Alex.
Yeah.
Please ignore our Fruit Ninja.
Not real game.
It is a real game.
it's in arcades now. You can actually pay
Really?
to play it in arcades.
Really?
Yeah.
Serious?
Wow.
No, thank you.
Like it's
Not
was
sure
at
how it
the
feels.
at the Minecraft meetup, I believe. I think there was a Fruit Ninja thing.
There's a big, they have
I
a-
went into the arcade and I
Just a
signed
giant
things. I didn't
touchscreen.
play
yeah,
any
giant
games.
touchscreen. It was
That's
pretty
kind of cool.
MC, everybody loves making a fruit salad, okay?
Fruit salads are good. Not gonna lie.
See?
Salad.
Fruit salad.
So what have you been doing, Jim? Playing games?
I've been playing Saints Row 4.
Yes.
Yes, good game.
We need to play sometime.
okay.
PC?
Hmm?
PC or?
Yeah.
Matchmaking.
All right.
Matchmaker,
Team Fortress
matchmaker,
2. Arkham Origins,
Nice.
and XCOM.
Oh.
Nice.
Liz, what have you been up to?
Well, we picked up A Link Between Worlds, but I haven't gotten to play yet because I've been extraordinarily busy over the last several days. But I'm done now, so I get to play A Link Between Worlds and,
Well, you want to know?
and practice A Link to the Past for Zeldathon.
Do you want to know everything about A Link Between Worlds? I'll tell you
No,
right.
shut up.
Liz just gonna go
Spoilers.
No, I know.
Good grief,
I don't. No,
He's
I've been
close.
making a podcast all day.
He's close.
I'm close. Andy, what have you been up to?
I've been playing A Link Between Worlds.
I'm noticing a theme here.
Like we like Zelda or something.
Assassin's Creed 4.
I haven't even played 3 yet.
It's fun to be a pirate.
Yarr.
Started playing WoW again with Alex.
We need to get. Did you finally subscribe?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Because I don't want to be level 20 forever.
No, I got that taken care of. I've
want
been
to
playing a
get
little of
I'm
Star
not
Wars: The
gonna
Old
do it.
Republic,
Never.
Star Wars Jedi Knight 2,
No.
Jedi Outcast, and I think that's it.
Oh.
I recruit
pretty long
everyone.
list.
You've been playing. Yeah, you've been playing a lot.
I'm
Well,
trying to think.
I've also been playing. What's the heck's the name of it? It's like Project X Zone, I think, on the 3DS. That was before A Link Between Worlds came out.
A Link to the
A
World.
Link World.
Link's World.
Link's World.
Beatman's World.
I
Only
think that's it.
Link
Oh,
stuff.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you if you need more time, Andy.
Dyer was
Captain
Dyer was
Fire.
sitting here claiming he's never going to
Yeah.
play WoW, but I will convert him. I converted several
Oh.
members of my band who were
I
diehard
used to
League
play.
of Legends fans and claimed they would never play World of Warcraft, and I got one of them to do recruiter friend.
I played it for 5 or 6 years or something like that, and then I have not been back.
You should get
No.
back in it. It's actually
No, thanks.
not that
No,
bad.
The only reason I go back is I have a build idea that I want to do in
people are
Minecraft, and I'll
chugging
have to
water.
have really good detail. That's the only reason I'd go back to like just fly around and check some stuff out.
Who can pee
Well, if it
before
ever
the
comes to
podcast?
that,
Yeah,
purpose,
I thought easier.
as long as you don't sell anything or do anything stupid.
I'll go sell everything and mail
Strip
it to
your
my old
character down
characters,
naked,
and then I'll
sell
come back.
everything.
Yeah.
I've actually done that before.
So,
Because I really needed money in the game. I was like, yeah, I'll just walk around naked for a while. I'll be good.
so
I do that in real life every now and then.
Wait, you walk around naked
Yeah, it sells his clothes.
and sells your clothes. Okay. I think it's a good time to move on to the news. What do we got in the news, Alex?
I've really missed that theme. So the PlayStation 4 and the X1 or X
X1!
The X1.
X-Bone.
So the PS4 and the Xbone have launched. I'm going to call it that. Both of them have launched within the last few weeks. They've had a little bit of time for people to use them and kind of get a feel for the system and everything, but
Has there been any major bugs with the PS4 yet?
Yes, actually.
I haven't really been keeping up with that.
They apparently have a red line of death.
Red line of death.
Really?
And people have been reporting it. I should probably switch my camera.
See, that's funny because they actually had that happen. I think when a system overheated inside the box when they first showed it off.
Right.
They're like, oh no, that's not like a red ring of death. That's not what that is at all. And so that's what they swore up and down it wasn't. So that's funny that it's actually that's what it is.
so
Is
the
it
PlayStation
line?
4.
Oh wait, apparently it's blue line of death.
It's a blue line of death.
I
They
heard
changed the
that.
color hue, sorry.
I'm
Well, the PlayStation's known for the blue
Yeah.
Yeah.
color.
the
so-
blue. The blue. But there's been only
Blue.
0.04% have been failures. I mean, that's still more than you probably want inside a console, at least.
I mean,
but
What
look
about
at like
Xbox?
360s.
That's pretty good.
the Xbox.
No one likes Xbox.
I think actually, Alex,
Yeah,
you know more about that.
I've read a few things about it. I've seen a few videos of compilations of the Xbox dry failures, like people, especially people on Reddit, they're like brand new Xbox One, just out of the box, brand new game that has never been opened before, puts it in. Console doesn't read it. Several cases of the console actually kind of damaging the disc and pretty much eating it, and saying that the game cannot be read. And completely brand new disc. Spent a lot of money on this, and they can't play their game. A lot of hardware trouble apparently, which is kind of a common theme for Microsoft.
Yeah. that tends to be the usual.
My Chrome just committed suicide. I just got.
What did you do?
I got the.
What did you do?
I got the sad plug-in
Microsoft
phase
is
and then
watching.
Chrome shut down.
Microsoft listens.
My whole computer just committed suicide.
It's shutting down.
Why?
Is it not the power?
Is the power strip on?
The power strip is on. I'm
It's
confident.
configuring updates.
My
Microsoft
computer
heard
just decided
you.
to update. Okay.
Well,
that
that's
just
what you-
happened.
That's what you get.
I was gonna say, like, you said,
I will read
0.04%. That's pretty
There you go.
good for however many
Yeah.
million of these things.
Yeah,
they
like,
sold.
how many-
That's really good.
How many were sold on release? Do we know?
No,
A
'cause
lot.
Somebody should have looked up the stats.
Yeah. Oops.
I wasn't really. I'm not really
Go to
impressed
go.
with the launch titles for any of the systems.
No, not really.
Rise kind of looked cool for the Xbox, but I don't want to spend
It's not-
$500
yeah.
to play a game.
It's not worth that much
No.
money for that, you know.
I mean, the only game right now that I'm interested in, Kingdom Hearts. What, 3,
Kingdom
4,
Hearts, 3.
3? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Killzone, the new Killzone looks really cool. I liked the originals. I didn't play all the way through. I might play it through a bit, but the new Killzone looks pretty cool.
I think I saw a commercial for that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I guess the question is, Liz and Andy, you two are married, and you are
We're married?
you,
No one told me.
you're adult gamers, and you
We're
buy your own games.
adult.
It's all happening very fast for Andy.
Are you interested inside the PS4 or Xbox One?
PS4.
PS4.
Okay, now,
Definitely.
Do we have any Xbox Ones around the room at all? I guess is the question.
I would have, a couple of years ago, probably picked the Xbox over the PS4 because I've never really been a big PlayStation fan. Like,
Right.
I've never actually, well, I guess I bought them secondhand, but I've never been like one to go out and grab one because there's never been that much that really pulled me into them. But this one, PS4, I would go PS4 hands down before I would go Xbox because there's really nothing. Most things that are on Xbox, I can just wait and they'll be on PC. PS4 actually has exclusive titles I wouldn't mind actually recording.
Exactly.
something like
That's
that, so,
kind of my view, my feeling
yeah.
on it.
That's
My-
really the only way that can get me in is
My
exclusive
biggest
titles.
issue with the PS4 is it's not backwards compatible with PS3 games.
Yeah, that's
well, I
one
mean,
thing.
you're gonna be able to apparently get them all off of some.
Well,
sort
yeah,
of
but I mean, you
service
have to
and-
rebuy them, though,
You have to rebuy them.
as far as I
It's not
know.
the same with
Well, good thing we still have a PS3. I guess.
That's the impression I was given anyway. I'm not sure if that's how it actually is.
I mean, that kind of ties back during E3 when they were talking about the Xbox when it had like the DRM, the Always Online thing. They had an interview with was it with Don Metric? I can't remember. MC knows about this.
What do I? What? Hello? I was reading the chat room.
Back during E3 when they were interviewing, I think they were interviewing Don Metric from Xbox.
Don Magic. I hate that guy.
I know, but they were like, what about parts of the world that don't have internet? Like, how are they gonna play? And he's like, we do have a system for non-internet. It's called the Xbox 360.
Way to sell
Oh.
your system.
Yeah, he actually said it. He's like, we do have a console for that. It's the Xbox 360, and it's just kind of like, he actually said
Okay,
that.
okay.
But yeah.
Steph,
Slow
Steph.
up.
What?
Okay, you have an Xbox 360 in your
I-
house, and
I
it is,
do.
it is your primary internet device as well.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Not anymore.
Oh, highfalutin coming in. Oh, yo,
She's got a phone.
watch out! She has a Samsung. Watch out. But what do you think about the Xbox One? Like, because you have a 360, and that was like what you use a lot. So would you want a new and better
Well,
Xbox?
I would need money and
Well, let's say you have
If
the
you
money.
wasn't
If you-
have the
well,
ample
would
money,
you buy the Xbox One, or would you like want to think about the PS4?
I'll probably go with PS4.
Yeah, so she cross over to the light side.
I heard that, like you were saying with Xbox 360, you can't use that for Xbox One games. Like, you can't play those games. on
Yeah,
Xbox
neither
One.
neither one
neither
is.
of the systems are backwards compatible.
So I just think it's really stupid that you have to go out and buy all these new games that you already
Which
have.
is what the Wii U is kicking butt at.
I was just about to shout that out. I was like,
the
Alex, you
only
stole
backwards
it.
Actually,
It's not even backwards compatible. You know what else it does? You can download the Virtual Console. It has like, I mean, the only system the Wii U can't do currently from Nintendo's library is basically
3DS or DS.
GameCube. I was gonna go with, but
Oh, well, I mean, you could probably find GameCube games on the Nintendo
Yeah,
Shop,
if
couldn't
I'm
you?
understanding.
no,
correctly.
GameCube games aren't on the Virtual Console yet.
Oh,
Give it time,
okay.
they will be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, that's
I
the
mean,
word
it's-
though. Yet is the key word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
There's another system that's kind of backwards compatible. The PC. Never need to buy a new system.
That was a whole theme.
Look,
of
it's the
Reddit, like,
PC
yeah,
Master
yeah,
Race.
The PC Master Race.
Well,
Yeah.
Whose computer just crashed.
It updated.
Sorry.
It's working now.
Whatever you need to tell yourself.
Never lets you sleep at night,
No,
right?
the PS4 and Xbox One, they're both running Blu-ray, right?
Yes.
It's just
It's a
new
double layer Blu-ray
It's a
disc.
new format of Blu-ray.
Yeah,
That's
double-
why it's
it's
not backwards compatible.
A double layer Blu-ray disc, like
Huh.
like the Wii U games. They're all.
They're not. The Wii U is not Blu-ray. It's their own proprietary.
It's a
Their own
Blu-ray.
proprietary.
It's a Blu-ray format, but it's not.
Huh.
It's not. Blu-ray.
It's not
Yeah,
Blu-ray
like-
in the strictest sense.
I'm pretty sure that the PS4 and Xbox are both double layer Blu-ray because I've actually like at work I've sat there and looked at them and just kind of tried to do research.
Can they play CDs?
Can you see the layers, Alex?
No. That I don't know.
Because if they play CDs, it stands to reason they should be able to run like the PS4 should be able to run PS1 games.
Well, the PS3 could play DVDs but couldn't play PS2 games unless you got one of the $600 ones that
Yeah,
came
that's
out at
true.
release. So like,
I miss Clarence.
I mean, like look at the Wii. The Wii were DVDs. The Wii discs were DVDs, weren't they?
Technically, you
'Cause,
could
yeah,
you could
technically-
homebrew your Wii and you can make it play DVD.
Right, but it didn't come with a
Nintendo doesn't
DVD.
support
Exactly.
because Nintendo is Nintendo. But
But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of that situation with that.
so all in all, getting back to what we were talking about, we've seen. Jim, you have any interest inside Xbox One? You didn't really share an opinion.
I'm torn on the decision. I want to go with the Xbox One because there are exclusive titles on the Xbox that I want to play.
Right.
I'm a fan of the Halo series.
Okay.
I like the storyline behind it more than the gameplay. 'cause
I mean,
it's
I would
just-
buy a Wii U just for Zelda.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, if Zelda was on Xbox One, I'd buy an Xbox. I'd buy it right now. Let's go. No. So
but
yeah.
the same thing on the PS4. There are games that are interesting on that. So it's kind of like I don't know what I want to go with yet.
Oh, kind of reading chat here. Wardlinks was mentioning the link between being able to read DVDs and play PS2 games. I'm saying the PS3s that came out at launch, the ones that were the $600, did have a DVD drive in them, so you could, or like the PlayStation 2 driver in it, so you could play the PS2 games.
well,
on
what
those.
it was basically an emulator.
Right. And now the new PS3s, they can play DVDs, like
But they
DVD
cannot play
movie,
PS2 games.
But they cannot play the PS2 game because they don't have, I don't know, a driver they're missing or something restricting it.
It's more than software. It's also hardware.
Right,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, there's
games,
probably
games are
something.
not movies.
Right, exactly.
That's what it comes down to. It's different.
So that's kind of what I was trying to say. I just didn't. I accidentally words.
Well said, Andy. You got anything for us to talk about? News discussion.
Link Between Worlds, Super Mario 3D World released this weekend. Tons of perfect reviews. A lot of hype there.
Oh yeah.
I haven't played
Mario.
yet. I wanted to get it, but I wasn't. I didn't.
We have it.
I got Mario.
We haven't played
We
it.
haven't played Mario because
Yeah.
I've been playing Zelda. I've been too busy playing.
Well, I mean,
shit.
I have a lot of. I have the Kingdom Hearts 1.5. I have Batman Arkham Origins. I
haven't
have.
played either of those, but I have.
They
both
haven't
of
even
them.
been opened yet.
I just thought a thought. But
I think
it'll be for
I'm
after the
having a
podcast.
think.
It's not really relevant to the podcast, but you probably know what I'm talking about.
Well-
with Mario
Oh well, the plan was we were gonna
tonight.
Not tonight, but I want to do.
I was gonna say we could do it tonight.
Well, we need 4 people, so I mean.
We have like 8 in this room.
Well,
He can count.
4. Wasn't that the 4?
I don't. We need somebody on Monday night, tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's Monday.
Okay. Well,
Matchmaking.
Windows install new updates.
But
Thank you,
A
Windows.
Link Between Worlds, I have a lot of love for that game, and I'm
I'm so good so far. No spoilers.
not even
no,
a quarter
don't
of the
worry,
way
don't worry.
through it, and it's it's pulled me in.
Yeah, like if I wasn't podcasting, I would be.
Yeah.
I would actually be writing. Like, I'm
Oh.
done. I'm done with my contract thing. I got that finally done after like spending 8 hours on it the one night and not going to bed. Finally sent it out. I was like, I hope this part works for this. I know what you wanted in the script. And I was like, this is the best it's gonna get. I'm just gonna go to bed. And apparently it fit perfectly. And they're actually readjusting the script and the scene to what I was writing. So that was kind of cool about that. But I would probably be
Bullet.
writing my own stuff now because I'm in that drive, I guess. But probably gaming too because I miss it.
Okay, now skipping past Alex's non sequitur, Liz, you are a huge fan of A Link to the Past, but you haven't played A Link Between Worlds yet.
Correct.
Oh.
Me and Andy have played a little bit of it, so we're going to not judge you, but what do you want to see from Link Between Worlds that you don't know is actually there yet?
So much. I love the Dark World. I would like to see more expanse and depth in the Dark World. Yes.
You like the Dark World. She wants
I'm
the
just
Dark
generally
World.
hyped for the game. I don't even words how does.
Yeah, I mean, just you
But
got.
I think I
I
can
need
say
to
this
pick it
without
up
giving
and
any
play it
major
now.
spoilers because everyone knows it takes place in the same, world. I like that everything is, in roughly the same place,
Yeah, it's
and
the same map.
there wasn't all, there was very little change to the map.
But-
I mean,
but-
there is some changes. I won't
Oh yeah,
lie.
like the dungeons are
Yeah,
not the same at all.
but,
They're all brand new.
I mean, a lot of things. You're walking around. I was like, I remember going here. I remember going here.
nostalgia. Right.
And you almost want to go into these places just to see how they've changed.
And the other thing that's like been widely communicated is the use of the blend into walls feature.
Oh, I
so
love that.
It's so
It's so
interesting
awesome.
how previously, like you'd be wandering around the world map and you're just like, man, I want to go over there, but you know what?
I can't.
I could just walk along the wall to
Yeah.
get there instead. That's a much more efficient method than walking out of the woods, go around.
It's
past
so
the
nice
mountains,
to be
things
able,
like that.
when you're walking down a corridor and you see like one of those big bowling balls coming at you. Oh, I can't get away. Oh, wait, flattening
Wait!
the floor.
That's how you get by them.
So there's something I saw.
Glass.
If you've been on Reddit today, you probably saw it about how Nintendo's quote unquote further alienating it from hardcore gamers. On the box for A Link to the Woods, it says you must be able
to read.
to read, like to be able to read to play the.
You must have a
enjoy this
basic
game
reading
fully.
ability to
enjoy
fully
this
enjoy
game
this
fully.
game.
Yeah.
Which I find humorous. Like I don't think any game has ever said that. You have to be able to read to play this game.
Well, you showed me that picture. I don't know, it was on Facebook or whatever. It showed the tech demos for the various Nintendo systems, and then it showed the actual game. No, I don't.
The tech demos are always lower quality than what they release in the game.
Yes.
And then the tech demo that they released for the Wii U.
For the Zelda.
Well,
That's
awesome.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. I just
It's just
that's a good point.
mind-blowing.
Like
So-
putting that big scorpion
If-
thing.
Sorry,
The
if
spider
they
scorpion,
follow,
yeah.
if they continue to follow suit with that,
Holy crap!
Zelda Wii U is going to be.
I just realized
Well,
that.
I
yeah.
mean, at the
Gosh.
same time, though, back when, if we're talking about graphics purely, back when they were showing off the GameCube tech reel, they showed a similar demo to what we saw for the Wii U Zelda. But then the next game they released was Wind Waker, so it's like, you can't really judge that on.
But then they
lower
came out with
res-
Twilight Princess, which is like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean aliasing the game.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'll just, if you need me, I'll be in my corner.
I'll be the first to admit that the cell shading threw
Was a
me off of
Yeah.
Wind Waker.
It angered
for
a lot of
years.
people when it first came
And then
out.
did you have a revelation?
Well,
I still haven't played it.
I haven't played it. I like the game
to me
more.
it was.
But I want to now.
I mean, to me it was. I mean, you play Ocarina of Time, you play Majora's Mask. You get used to that kind of that gameplay, how things looked, and then you get all hyped up for the GameCube. What's this going to look like? And then they cell shade. It's like they took a step back because of
But
how
it
because
was really impressive, though. It was
Yeah.
like
well,
I mean, if you
it's
look
a,
at the, if
it's
you
a
look
good
at,
game. Sorry, not to cut you off. I mean, when it first came out, I like Liz, I was like, "What is this? Why did they do this? This sucks. Why
What
would they
is
do
this?"
And then, I finally decided, I'm going to rent it and I'm going to play it, and then I was like, "Oh, this
See,
isn't
the
so
combat
horrible
is
after all."
I actually,
There is a
I actually
good
worked
depth
at a
to it.
game store at the same time as that was coming out, and I got to, I think I was about 21 or something at the time. No, I'm probably about 20. But anyway, I had a lot of people coming in that were really torn on whether or not to get it, and that was basically the same reason. Like, they couldn't tell if it was a step back.
Yeah.
They had showed, previously, like, it looked like an updated
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time, and everyone was really excited for that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it looks more and more realistic. This is awesome.
3D
And then they
Ocarina
took, took it shell shading, and I don't know. A lot of people. Sorry, a lot of people were
committed
not
sin.
quite happy about that. But I always kind of reserved judgment. I ended up playing it when it came out. I ended up buying it first day, and I actually got. I've never actually beaten it though. Like I got right to the end of it. Well, like I
Podcast, we got work to
told
do.
you about this, where I got all the way to the end level, like the final dungeon.
Ganganis Tower.
Yeah, and then I just stopped. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a break tonight. And I
He's
just
never picked it up again.
10 years later.
I have done that with so many games.
I've
Even
done that.
Saints
I
Row.
also did that with
Saints Row
Twilight
the Third.
Princess. I also
Yeah.
did Twilight Princess like that. Exact
I'm
same
with
thing.
Liz.
I don't know
If
why
you
I
get
can't
that
do it.
far,
Can't do
like,
that.
okay, the only game I guess I'm guilty of that is World of Warcraft. Like, both times I play it, like back when
Never
Village
got
comes
all
out,
the way to
the
ending.
level cap was 80. I got to level 78 and I quit. and then I got back into
Yeah,
it.
you were
I
what,
made-
84 or 85 out of the 90 and quit. And I'm thinking, it's just go to the 90. The end game is awesome right now.
But leveling is so boring. I'm not an RPG fan. That's just the way I am, I guess. I mean, I love Mother 3. I'll put up with Mother 3.
Grindy.
Yeah, you are the RPG fan here.
Grind all the things. I love grinding. I'm a grinding fiend.
Phrasing.
I'll wait for that hashtag.
So we're seeing like for the future of like Nintendo's consoles, we're in a position where we're kind of thinking, wow, we're going to be seeing a lot more different things. It could be, but the thing is, when it comes to Nintendo, you never really know what to expect.
Yeah.
You can be like, I expect another Mario Galaxy. Is everybody reading the chat right now? Yeah. Everybody, look at me! I'm talking, please.
That's it, Shinran? Come on, get on my level.
So I don't. So yeah, I don't. Look at everybody. Look at the chat. They can't stop. Oh my gosh. Liz,
Yes.
what do you got for us today?
Oh, talking about content release prior to like game and movie releases.
Give us the example that you honestly want to talk about.
Yeah.
And don't worry, there'll be no spoilers.
Want to talk about.
Spoiler free, don't worry.
Spoiler free. Spoiler free.
Well, the example that I gave is the Doctor Who 50th. They released, so it just feels like they released so much before the 50th. Some of it was quote unquote leaked, and some of it they accidentally released ahead of schedule, or they deliberately released ahead of schedule. There were so many mini clips that you could unlock on the various sites and stuff, and it was just. I tried to avoid a lot of it because spoilers, sweetie.
See, I actually did the opposite. I kind of went out there and started looking for all the different kind of clips and stuff that I could find. Like even there was two specifically that are on YouTube that I didn't catch one of them. I didn't catch it till last night after I actually watched the show. But there was one beforehand I actually mentioned to you guys. I didn't say what it was, but you guys were like, I don't want to see it at all. And it's like, actually, it kind of filled in a little bit of the story for the actual show. I wish
I've
people
I've
had
managed
seen it
to
before they saw
avoid
it.
every single clip, everything to do with the 50th, pretty much for like the last 3 months. Like,
see. I'm
I
not
don't
sure
know
if that's
how.
the
I
way
just
to
like
do
I
it.
see Doctor Who and I'm like, nah, just no.
I would have said like a couple of years ago that's the way to do it because they're so bad about just it's like movie trailers. They give you the whole movie in
Exactly.
3 minutes.
I hate it when
In
movies
this
do that.
regard, they're not really giving you much of the story. Like I don't know what the clips were that you saw, like in regards to the actual show, but I didn't see anything released as to what the content of the actual episode was going to be.
No, they
But
did a good job
They
keeping
did
it
They did a
vague.
good job just showing you things that would lead up to it, or that tied into it, that kind of helped you put it back in the back of your head that you could tie it all together when you're watching the show and be like, oh, that's what they're doing here. You
Somebody
know?
just
so
debooped.
that's yeah,
That
something
was me.
debooped,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay, I was like,
So that's this. I don't know. Content releases are getting more interesting because they're actually starting to use them more as a medium to get you more interested in something instead of spoiling things
Well,
for you.
okay. Apparently, and this is the only thing I've heard is apparently A Link Between Worlds had some sort of trailer or clip released, and apparently there's a big spoiler about the ending in it. Luckily, I took a lesson from Liz. And I stopped, man. I stopped. I stopped reading after I heard that happen. Like, and apparently, and I went to Go Nintendo. I love reading Go Nintendo. In fact, this podcast has some inspiration from their podcast. Anyway, moving on. They apparently there was like a block of text this big, and apparently it was every story detail about the game. And I was like,
why?
I was like, yeah, nope. Anything that says link in it, I'm gone. So that's mostly internet, unfortunately. But
Ding! What's that? It's a machine that goes ding.
bad, Alex.
Well, that's not a spoiler at all.
Okay.
Just don't encourage.
So I mean, so what are your questions for us, Liz? What are your questions?
questions. Well,
What do you want to know from us?
well, compared to how much information we got beforehand in old times, like for game trailers and stuff, does what we're getting now increase our hype more, or does it give us more spoilers?
Our
So that we
spoilers
can-
good as well.
Some spoilers. It
I mean,
It
it's
fuels
the reason you're going to
discussions.
watch something. It's,
It-
you know,
I think,
you
it
want
fuels
that
discussions
factor, you know?
When you talk about trailers, trailers of old, all I can think of is the trailer for the original Zelda. Wasn't it that goofy rat
exactly.
trailer?
That's what I was thinking about. Was
No.
trailers for games in the old days were like
Zelda
pop
rap.
culture references, basically.
Zelda
And
rap.
they might show some small video of actual gameplay, but it's not giving anything away.
Right, it's showing, look what you can do now.
Yeah.
Your bow can move here, and
Yeah.
I mean, well,
your,
like,
your bow can shoot fire.
Take for example, like the
It's cool
Zelda rap
because
way back
this-
when.
What?
Was it the Zelda rap? Or what am I thinking of? Like back in the
Legend
80s,
of
was it like a
Zelda
rap?
is really rad.
Yeah.
Those creatures from Ganon are pretty
Like,
bad.
that was just like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, they actually did a rap song for this game. I
And
kind of
they showed footage. They
Yeah,
told
like
what
load
it was
footage
for.
of the game.
I mean, okay, now we're talking about advertising.
But
huh?
yeah.
Jim. What are
Yes,
your
yes,
thoughts
yes.
on this? Because I think I've been seeing you. You've been you've been processing in your head. What's been going on there?
The only thing that I really have an issue with, like, is a lot of times, like, movie trailers.
Right.
They will. I've noticed, like, for comedy movies, at least it's the funniest part of the movie is always in the trailer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
I hate that.
I have seen everything.
Yeah,
that has
exactly.
to be
They've been doing that
seen.
so much more recently. I've noticed
Yeah.
because I work in a movie store, so I see like all the reels that come out. Like we get a new disc every month that has like kind of trailers for pretty much every release coming out within the next month. And I watch that. I hear that it's like an hour-long loop. I hear it 8-9 times a day. It's engraved in my head. But like, and then we get the movies and games a week before they release. So we get them on Thursdays and they come out on Tuesday. So we're allowed to take them home and watch them and just so we can give recommendations on release day. And just a lot of I stopped doing it because I mean all of the like that trailer thing that's running keeps ruining it for me. Like. Take the movie The Purge. I'm a huge horror movie fan. I watch as many horror movies as I can because that's who I am in the store. The Purge came out. It was dumb. Like the trailer ruined it completely for me. Just like, well, everything I've seen about it ruined for me. Everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be so good. No, the idea is amazing. The story was crap.
Well, that's what I like about most horror movies. Today, they go with the gore or the jump
Yeah.
out scary things. They can't really show that in the trailer.
That's true.
I mean, they can show the point leading up to it or right after, or they show
But
the
they cut
audience
right there,
reaction
yeah.
to something jumping out, but you don't know what's going to happen. So when you go, you get to that point, you're like, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. When's it going to happen? You
Well,
don't
yeah.
really
Well,
know.
I mean, leading on the new horror thing, like the movie that went straight to DVD, the new Chucky movie. It's called The Curse of Chucky, whatever. The trailer for that is actually pretty intense. Like, and it's homage, but the actual movie is terrible. Like the trailer, the trailer was more well done than the actual movie was. Like I'm
That
halfway through
happens
watching it right now. on
far
my
too
computer.
often, I think.
And it's just so far there's not really any backstory to it. It's just like, oh, the movie starts, you get a delivery. It's a doll. Like that's it. And then he starts killing everyone. But yeah, so that's kind of a tirade about that. But
I was actually looking at the chat, and Devil Was Bad actually had a good point about how the worst movie trailers are the ones that show footage that isn't even in the movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Yes.
about that too.
And that could be hit or miss. Like for
I'm-
me, like if you show stuff that's really good for a trailer, but it's not in the movie, I'm like, why wasn't it in the movie?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm also glad they didn't spoil anything
Yeah.
for me. So it's kind of like a hit or miss type thing. You gotta really be careful. Like there's a few directors I know that have a really tight control over their trailers, and they won't even like allow marketing companies that make the trailers to use music that's not even in the movie. Like they want it all
Yeah.
from what you're gonna see.
Speaking to that, video game trailers as of late and like commercials, they've sometimes stopped just showing footage of the games and they just do live action reenactments of the game.
Yeah.
It's like,
Ghosts?
well, I guess this looks
Rise.
good. Yeah, Rise, Son of
yeah.
Rome has been a
Yeah.
perfect example of that.
I'm trying to think of another
that-
example from like
A trailer that comes to mind was the trailer for Metroid Other M. It didn't really show.
I like how there's a laugh. when that
I
game's
mean,
mentioned.
yes, the game wasn't great.
Yeah.
It wasn't entirely horrible in my opinion. I'm a Metroid fan, so
Right.
I mean, it had its ups and downs. But the trailer, it didn't show much gameplay. I don't think. It kind of, as you know, Samus was walking down the line. It showed things from her storyline, but it didn't really show much gameplay.
I mean,
But it still kind of built up hype because it's another Metroid game. Yes,
And this one
the
looks
last
really
Metroid
cool,
game,
like-
the Prime series was
Well, yeah,
awesome. What have they got next? Oh, this.
there's the point
that's
where
like
your series is so well established. Like I mean, if Nintendo's released a trailer where Link is just walking along a sidewalk and a logo appears, people be like, "Oh my god, Zelda! Wow!"
I mean,
But,
that's the same thing though. Like you said, some brands are really established. Like right now, if someone were to, I know there's some kind of countdown going on for potentially a Fallout 4, and I would geek out even just seeing vault number whatever on a screen.
Right,
I'd be
right.
like, all right, I'm good. I'm good.
But like, look at all of
Purchase.
the
Purchase.
Look at all of the
Take my money.
the stuff for Half-Life 3 that
Yeah.
we have no information about it at all. Like, but people, hunting this down and everything. That's probably like the best marketing ever. Is no marketing. I mean, if you have that so much, no. Hear me out.
I understand what you're saying. It's
like.
I mean-
that wonder is like, is this actually happening? Like something this big. That's like the greatest thing that Valve could do right now.
well,
but
you
you
drop
really
hints
have one.
that it could be the game, but it could be something else entirely. I mean,
because people are like, "This is Half-Life 3. This is Half-Life 3. Oh, it's a Steam box. I guess
Yeah.
I'll buy that too."
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like that was that huge thing. I mean,
you drop a
that's
hint
kind
that
of
it
a
could
cool
be
idea.
something that everyone really wants, and then you might give them something else. But then again, people are thinking, well, if I wait, I build up my hype, it could actually be what I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is, are you a company that can, tease a game for 7 years or something?
Yeah.
Do you have the monetary value?
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at the newest Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
It could be really good or just.
It could be Duke Nukem. I saw Duke Nukem at Walmart the other day and said the bargain bin. I was like, ha, that is funny.
Wasn't it like $5?
I know. I was
Like
like,
a $5
I kind of
bargain
want
bin.
to just buy it because I feel bad that it took this long.
It's
to
a piece
get
of
into a
history.
bargain
All the
bin.
hype building up to that. I played Duke Nukem 64, and I've never played any other game.
Loved it.
And then, everyone's like, when's the next one coming out? Well, they were starting to make it, then they canceled it. And then and then they said, we're making it for real this time. Everyone's like, yeah! And it came out, they're like, what is this?
Yeah, like because there was like the leak thing that Half-Life trademarked or Valve trademarked the term Half-Life 3,
Yeah. But they
which
do that.
apparently that was fake from what I've heard.
Well,
I don't know. I've heard it
a lot of
debunked,
companies do
but-
that anyway,
yeah.
just to protect
Yeah,
themselves
exactly.
in case of a.
Yeah, so somebody else can't do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're actually making it. They just, in
Yeah.
case they decide to do it, they have the option. But I was going to bring it up earlier. We were talking about you were mentioning that some game trailers have like no gameplay in it at all, and it's just like all live action and everything. Look back on the PS2 campaigns, the commercials for the PS2.
I don't remember.
Weirdest
I don't
commercials
remember
ever. Some of them are still terrifying, like the one with the baby.
Oh yeah, I know. Sure.
Yeah.
yeah, those are good. They had the.
Yeah, I mean they're really good, but they had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the console at all. Nothing to do with any of the gameplay, anything with it. It was just like the console floating and like a baby like cooing at it and making really weird, creepy faces. Like an Exorcist head. Like, it was just like, what is this? Like, I don't even I
game
want
for
it, but I
ants.
don't know.
Anyways, Jim, let's move off of that discussion. Jim, you're gonna teach us today.
Yes.
You're gonna teach us about bitcoins because
Yes.
I have no idea what they
Yeah,
are. So.
I've heard a bunch about
I,
this, but I have no idea what they are.
I actually used to be a Bitcoin miner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just getting into it.
no.
I'm finding out that it's very, very slow.
Yeah. Very slow.
Well,
And it was just
teach
slow
us.
even from a couple of years ago. yeah.
Okay.
What is a bitcoin?
Yeah. Bitcoins basically are like a peer-to-peer currency, so it's more like I'm
What's peer to peer?
yeah, I'm physically gonna basically it's instead of going through agencies like banks or stuff like that, I'm just physically working just with that person. It basically functions without the need of
Actual currency.
actual physical currency, banks or establishments such as that. Transactions.
It's just the numbers that the banks would normally be
Yeah.
transferring between each other, but instead we're just not doing banks, we're just doing us.
Yes.
So we're each our own bank.
Yep.
Okay.
Interesting.
This is good.
They're all public. The one of the nice things is it's all public, so you can actually see that. Steph, you gave MC 2 bitcoins. You know.
You're
Dang.
welcome.
that's a lot of money
It
now,
would be,
isn't
yes.
it?
Over 1,000.
Yeah, it would be actually.
Oh, Steph, thank you so much.
Actually, right now, the current value, I just checked this before we started, the current value of a Bitcoin is $797.98.
Holy.
Just for one?
Just for one.
Really wishing I didn't cash out.
Well, I mean, a
this is a
Bitcoin,
physical thing, I
it's
hope
not
my
like a
friend went
dollar.
myself.
It's not like that. I mean, a Bitcoin is like, it's a Bitcoin, you know. It is.
Is it really a coin?
No,
No,
it's
they
not
don't
physical.
exist. They
The
don't
name is
physically-
kind of throwing me off though because a Bitcoin sounds like something very small and insignificant.
It
Like,
does.
But the thing is, you know, like a Bitcoin, you know, don't think of it as like a dollar bill. Think of it as like, I don't know, like a full checking account. I don't
A
know.
lot of dollar
well,
bills.
A lot. Well, no, but it's a single thing.
Like you
It's a
could think of it
Bitcoin.
like a
Like a
like a
service.
chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
where you've
yeah.
got a chocolate bar that's equals a Bitcoin. You can take off a chunk of that and
And hand it-
Okay.
here's 0.005 of a Bitcoin.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's more like they do the transactions all the way down to like 8 decimal points.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like $5.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
That's so just because you don't have an actual Bitcoin doesn't mean
Anything, yeah.
yes,
Like
you
I've-
can have a fraction, a very small fraction of a Bitcoin and still have.
So you can like
Right.
perform services or whatever to get this. Like say
Yeah.
freelance writing online. Like there's 2 websites I actually
Here
do.
he comes again.
This is introduced me by Kirsten. She did this for a long time. But there's like Elance and something else. But they're freelance writing online.
Yeah.
And you know you get a contract with somebody. You know they pay you. You have a written agreement. You have certain. Is that kind of like how Bitcoins work? Is that's kind of like your payment for whatever service would be like a fraction of a Bitcoin? Or
can be.
okay.
You could set up to be basically to accept payment in
I'm-
terms of in versions of bitcoins.
I'm
basically.
just confused as to how this would convert to anything that wouldn't like. I don't know. I'm trying to think of it as kind of like currency, but I
more
know I
or
should
less
be
they
thinking of
have
it as
like
currency.
what's the equivalent of like maybe like a stock exchange in
Yeah.
a way. That's what I used for a while. I can't remember which one I used, but like
But is there a way to get physical money from this?
yes.
yeah,
you
that's what I'm talking
exchange-
about. Like you basically take your money and
They give it to
kinda
somebody
like
that's like,
PayPal.
here, have these bitcoins, give me money.
Think
Yeah,
of it like a
basically.
PayPal account. Yeah.
Okay, that
And
makes
be
a
like,
little
I
more
would like to
sense.
sell this amount of Bitcoin for your money. And then you would
What
basically
its
do the
value.
transaction.
Okay.
And it would be like, it would go to your PayPal or whatever it is, and then you just take that money you got and put it in your bank account.
That's okay.
but that's the
That's
thing is,
actually a
there's
really cool
more and
idea.
more-
I just
There's more and more resources being opened up for people to use Bitcoins, now that
Okay.
especially have taken off.
Yeah.
Right.
Now
So
it's taken off.
Because the real
money,
value...
but it's not money you can spend. The real it's its own.
It's digital money.
It's like it's
like
it's a subculture of
It's
economy.
kinda,
Yes,
the
basically.
best comparison I can think of is kind of like poker chips in a casino.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
exactly.
You know, while you're in the casino, they're your currency, but outside the casino,
They're worth nothing.
worth nothing until you. I mean, you have to cash them in order to get.
Yeah.
That is
That is a very good
excellent.
explanation.
Yeah, I like
Is that avenue is being opened up rapidly.
Yeah.
Like I know
Rapidly
Virgin
expanding.
just you can
A
now pay
lot
for
of-
like a space flight with
Yep.
Bitcoins. Like any
I've heard that.
the only way Bitcoin has any value is through
Is-
goods and services.
Yep.
What
Right,
you
yeah.
can buy through 'em. And they've been pushing and pushing and pushing. People have been pushing. Bitcoin owners have been pushing for more companies like Amazon and all these other
That would be
internet-based
awesome.
companies. I think Amazon already does it. Maybe
They might.
They
I haven't.
might.
I didn't
I'm not
notice.
sure. But I know it's
Um,
close, if not anything, where they'll accept Bitcoins for their products. And
Yeah,
the
that's
more
the
and more
only-
that grows, the more and more you'll see Bitcoin getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, the reason I'm also like one of the big things I was bringing up on it was because the government was looking, with the what was it, a few months ago about they closed down that Silk Road.
Silk Road, yeah.
The-
Silk Road, the guy had about 20 million, I think, in Bitcoins.
Oh
Wow.
but it was
Actually.
like I think it was like a drug ring.
Yeah.
And that's that's the problem. That's part of the issue with it.
Liz got a little surprised by that.
Yeah, well, that's
She
part of
was
the
like,
issues with it because it can be
Yeah.
an anonymous one because your name really isn't tied to anything with
Right.
it. It's all done via a
number.
a
Serial
hash
number.
code, yeah,
Right.
a serial number that can
It's
basically
you.
be
It's
is
your wallet.
It is your wallet. And that's what they actually call it. It
That's
is called
right.
your
Right,
wallet.
yeah.
But you can change your wallet code. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
I can just say, "Oh, I'm going to take the bitcoins that I have and put them in a new wallet."
okay. So it can be very sneaky, and that's why the government's probably interested. It's like this is too spooky for me.
Kind of.
They don't have direct control over
Yes,
it,
and that's
what
part
any
of-
kind of government does. All
Well,
the
I mean, the government has their economy, the real economy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably freaking out, being like, these internet people figured out a way to not use our economy. How dare they?
Do you think that government's going to try to start regulating this after a while?
They can try, but I actually don't know if they can.
Like that's like because it's all like
The only way they really could, in my opinion, is if basically they say
they hoard a bunch of it
Well,
and lower
if-
the value, or
they could try to do that, because right now they've seized. I think it was when they seized that, they seized about little over 1% of the total.
200 million bitcoins. This
Well,
is like
the
several billion
the
dollars.
Bitcoin number will cap when it reaches 21 million.
Yeah.
So once there are 21 million Bitcoins in existence,
That is the maximum.
there will be no more.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
so
There won't be any kind of inflation like
Mhm.
that. I guess that's
Yeah.
actually really smart.
It's a bit like working with like bits of gold,
Yep.
more or less.
Okay, yeah.
There's only so much gold in the world,
Right.
and once it's all mined up and it's out there in circulation, that's it. You
That's
can't-
actually how
unless
money
you go
used to
make
be based
gold.
off of.
Yes,
But
exactly.
that's not real gold, it's-
Yeah, I mean that's how money used to be based off of. Is
Yeah,
but
exactly.
now
Yeah.
that's kind of not the case anymore.
Anyway,
Okay, so we have a question from the chat. What's so interesting about this Bitcoin problem? Why is Bitcoin so relevant? Well, because we're on the internet right now, and there's an entire economy out there, and people can use it for so many things, both bad, like a gym message with your drug range.
drug
I will
ring,
give you
hired
one
killers,
Yeah.
whatever
But
you
if
wanna
I
do.
wanted to, I could say help support the temporary podcast. Here's our Bitcoin hash code or whatever.
Yeah.
And,
Here's our wallet code.
And
Yeah, here's our
people
wallet,
could just
yeah.
like give us like .2,
Yeah.
0.001
Yeah.
of a Bitcoin, and that may not seem like much to them because it's not real to them. It's not like a dollar bill. But it's just a little bit, and that could accumulate, and then eventually the temporary
We might have
podcast.
one Bitcoin.
Yeah, we could cash out. And we could buy ourselves a new microphone. It's-
Yeah, I mean that's
it could be
actually
Or we could even take that, and if we wanted to, we could use those Bitcoins and hire a professional musician to make us a new intro song or something like that. I would never change the intro. Oh, wait, are you a musician? I forgot.
and I want to actually make money doing it, which is the hardest thing in the world to do as a musician. Like, there's a funny video on the internet of, it's just like, the one trick that no other guitarist can do. And it's just like, the guy sitting there with the guitar is like, I'm going to teach you one thing that no one knows how to do. And he's just like, holds up, make actual money. Bam. And that's the video. It's true. It's very, very true. But yeah.
Okay, I guess we're going to move on now to some questions from the chat. I think it's time to play another with Diddly. Oh. All right, it's time
Whoa.
for viewer questions. So we're in the future here, we're going to actually have you submit the questions. I'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
But we're going to have the chat room, the live chat room. That is not the chat room. Let's hit the right button.
There we go.
Hi, chat.
5, that's the one I wanted right there. Okay, so we're new at this.
It's a new setup. We're getting used to it.
So if you guys want to ask us any questions here inside the chat, go ahead and ask us. We're gonna watch there. Try to make sure your questions very very broadly, so everybody here and say, don't ask MC what do you think of this. Ask towards everybody, and we're just gonna. I'll try to pass out the question. We'll probably do 5 or 6 questions. So. Majora's Mask HD, Wii U or 3DS. That's a very. I think Alex, your answer is yes.
Yes. As much as I would love to see it on the Wii U, if anything, it'll probably be the 3DS, like the Ocarina of Time.
I think I would rather see that on the Wii U than see it.
I know,
on
I
3D,
would
though.
too, but the question is, are they actually going to make an HD Majora's Mask?
Majora's Mask remakes.
Probably not, as much as it pains me to say. I'm not really holding my breath for it, but I would like to see it on the Wii U.
What's been your favorite game this year?
Okay, yeah, let's just go around the table.
Ooh, that's a tough one. This
I'm
has been a
gonna
pretty good
I'll
year.
start. Just make it nice and simple. Way you guys think.
Mike! Hi, Mike!
Yeah, Mike's sorry.
Hi, Mike.
I really.
Wow!
Thank you, Mike.
I
I'm back somewhere.
I really like the Wind Waker HD, most because it's been my favorite game of all time.
I never would have guessed that.
And then they made it better. Like, how can I not love this? It's such a good thing that they did. Steph, do you know what games have you played this year that you would consider like top tier?
Minecraft? No, I'm just kidding.
It didn't come out this year.
I can't say I've played it, but I really want to play Call of Duty Ghosts. Just
It's
Oh.
terrible. I already beat it.
I
I just want to see
Don't.
what it's like.
Don't spoil this. I haven't played it
No,
yet.
Other than that, I really haven't played any.
I got it like we got the shipment on Thursday, and I processed all the games. I was like, I have it before anyone else can play it, so I might as well. And I played through the campaign. I was
You beat the entire thing?
yeah
Oh wow.
on the PS3. It was while you guys were at Minecon. Like, I had nothing to do, and
okay.
I just sat down the one night. I sat there. It took me like 10 hours to play through the campaign. And I was like, I mean, I played like the other Call of Duty campaigns from the games, and I like them more. And then I got on the multiplayer. The multiplayer, I think, is the worst out of any Call of Duty I've ever played. I was actually playing with game reviewers. I didn't know any of them, but that's the only people I could think that would actually have this copy before anyone else.
How about other people that work at video stores like you?
Well, they all were terrible anyway. I think it was like a 4-on-4 deathmatch in this destroyed area, and I think I went like 42-6 in the half an hour.
Congratulations.
Maybe you're just really good.
No, I suck at console shooters. I'm a Battlefield.
I suck in console shooters.
I am a mouse and keyboard guy for shooters. Like it has to be. I
Okay.
can't get the precision because I like to go like that and I'm trying to just nudge up. But yeah,
Dyer, what has been your favorite game this year so far?
Honestly, I don't really ever have favorites anymore. Like, I play so many games now, like,
Right.
Steam-wise, I just go through them. Like, I really, like...
And well, do you have
normally-
any ones that
That's-
stand out to you that you've been really enjoying
it's
this
kind of
year?
depressing though. Do you not
I
like
don't-
enjoy gaming anymore?
No, I totally enjoy gaming. I
Okay.
love it. But, like, I don't have favorites anymore. Because, like,
You just like.
I don't know. I can't even think of what games I played that I didn't play on Friday. Like, I just play games.
Right.
I mean, like I said earlier, I really enjoyed the DLC of the XCOM, but that's not like it's not game of the year type stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess BioShock was really good. It had its issues.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
just-
good.
Best. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It had issues, a lot of issues, but I still enjoy it.
Can I change my answer?
What's the answer to your question?
I like Bioshock Infinite. It was a very good game.
I will
Oh,
say,
there you go. See, that's a legitimate answer.
Last of Us
Call
was
of Duty
really
was
good.
not a legitimate answer.
Last of Us was really good. Never played it, only watched it, but I would say it was definitely really
Oh,
good.
Last
That
of
is-
Us is
that
up
was
there
really-
too.
My favorite game of this year has to be The Last of Us. That's probably one of my favorite games of all time.
You
at this
didn't
point.
really? Did you play through
Yeah,
it?
I beat it.
Okay. I
It
know
is-
you watched me. But
it is-
PC4.
In my eyes, perfection in a game. As close to it as I've ever seen.
What, The Last of Us?
Yes. Oh, so
good.
good. And now I'm playing through the Uncharted series because it's a lot like The Last of Us. And
Did you just compare Uncharted to The Last of Us?
it's made by the same people, dude.
It's completely different story, though. I mean,
I didn't say story-wise. I said mechanics-wise. It's a lot like The Last of Us.
I wouldn't say... Yes and no.
Andy is having an issue with this statement.
Well, I mean, if you look at the mechanics of Uncharted,
I've played
it's-
very little of it, so I don't know.
okay, Uncharted 3 specifically.
I have two.
I mean, it's sometimes it's a very shoot 'em up game. I'm gunning versus this guy. I've got cover, or there's the stealth issue or not issue, the stealth scenarios
Right.
where you don't want to be found by these enemies that you're not going to be able to beat at this specific time. It's more. I think I crossed over without even thinking about it. Okay, The Last of Us. The Last of Us has a lot of points where it's, I've got this weapon, I'm going to beat the crap out of these things, or these
Yeah.
guys. Then the weapon breaks, and then suddenly, okay, now I'm in survival mode, where I don't have any ammo, I don't have any more melee weapons, I just have to run.
Right.
Or find things, to use as weapons. Because going melee in that game is not a good idea.
In what game?
The Last of Us.
I mean,
yeah,
if it's
no.
one-on-one,
Well, if you
yes.
can pick them off one by one, it's easy. But if there's
As a
more than
group,
one
you're
enemy,
screwed, yeah.
But Uncharted is more
Right,
focused
yeah.
on the gunplay. You're not really going to run out of ammo. There is some melee aspect to it, but it's a lot easier in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I haven't really played a whole lot of it, but from what I've seen, it reminds me kind of Last. I mean, you could tell the same company made them, and I really like Naughty Dog's work, so they're probably one of my favorite developers.
Jim, what's your favorite game of that you played this year?
Space come out this first quarter?
I
Dead Space came
I
out
don't
this
know.
quarter.
It's not been a super year for gaming
Yeah.
overall. I mean,
Well, we were
we'll come back to you.
Okay,
Keep
go,
going
yeah.
on. Liz, what was been your favorite game so far this year? Would you say?
Favorite.
Well, that's
not
I didn't
compute.
play that game.
Exactly.
Word does not compute.
Or any standout
I've-
titles.
I've
if there's-
enjoyed The Last of Us and Beyond Two Souls and Assassin's
I haven't played
Creed.
Beyond Two Souls yet.
I haven't beat it yet.
Dead Space came out first quarter.
Dead Space.
Dead Space 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it on Origin. I haven't played it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good games.
But none that
And-
like stand out to you, like
Yeah.
as like this is my
None
favorite
that's like,
game.
this is my favorite game of the year.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! I can't even explain how good this game is.
What about you, Andy?
It's a toss-up between The Last of Us and Beyond Two Souls. I said The Last of Us, like Alex said, that game is about as near as perfection as a game can get. In my opinion,
The first chapter is the most powerful. Like,
you're
So
gonna know the point I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You almost cry 5 minutes into the game. It's just like, wow, you kind of see it coming, but at the same time, when it comes, you're still like, oh, that just killed my feels.
did we just get raided by Pack Rat?
Yeah, shout out to Pack Rat. Thanks.
Beyond Two Souls.
Thank you very much, man.
If you played the game with the origami killer, what the heck's the name of that?
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain. If you liked Heavy Rain,
Or Indigo Prophecy, which is the
or I never
predecessor.
played that, but if you like Heavy
Love
Rain,
Indigo
you're gonna
Prophecy.
love Beyond Two Souls. It's the same game mechanics, but made easier yet more challenging.
Yeah.
There's still, the motion commands. You have to hit the certain direction at a certain time.
They've gotten a lot better at that. Like the first example
it's
was
smoother.
Indigo Prophecy was the first title like that. I think it might have been the first title. I don't really know. I've never really looked into Quantic Dream, but it was really, really rough. It was basically like a game of Simon. Like that's the whole game is Simon. Like you see two circles with 4 colors on each, and you have to press in. I mean, the concept of the game was really cool, but it could have been done better. I really liked the game myself, and then Heavy Rain took that idea and made it better. I mean, granted, like the beginning of the game is kind of slow, I guess. Like,
Well, it's
What was
weird.
that? What was that look you had? You're like,
well, like
whoa.
The way they do it, it's not, the game's not linear from beginning to end. It's broken up.
right.
It jumps back and forth.
I mean, like what I liked with the Indigo Prophecy is you start the game, you're crouched over a dude holding a knife, wondering, why am I here? Why is this guy dead? Why am I covered in blood? Like that's the beginning of the game. You have like 5 minutes to hide and do whatever you can, and then get out of there. Like,
well, Beyond Two Souls, it jumps to so many different kind of genres, in my opinion. Like there are some times where it's kind of a shooter. I mean, and then there's some times where it's more stealth. And then there's sometimes where it's motion command. You're in combat, and instead of like Heavy Rain, where you had to hold this button down, hold this button down, become double jointed, need 8 people on the controller to get out of this part.
use your chin.
This it's when someone's fighting. Let's say you're going for a block. This like. If Liz were going to punch me coming from this side, I swing my arms up to block. All I have to do is move the control stick that way instead of having some complex.
That's kind of cool.
So the combat,
using like the accelerator and everything on the controller as that's kind of cool.
it's the combat is a lot smoother. I know there wasn't a lot of combat in Heavy Rain
Right.
because it was more based heavily on the story.
right, which is
But
good.
this is based on the story, but it's also based on the combat, and it's a really great game. I haven't beat it yet, so I don't know, how it's going to end. I know there's multiple endings, like for Heavy Rain.
right, which I still have not beat. I'm like a quarter of the way through. I set it down and haven't come back to it yet. I will. I really want to play it. I've been lazy.
But if I had to put one over the other, I would probably say The Last of Us. And that was a really long, drawn-out explanation.
we have an excellent question here. I don't know if it's actually viewable on our chat view, but New Ire asks, "What is everyone's
Wow.
favorite piece of tech, old or new?" Like, I like just going back thinking like laptop, gaming consoles, Kindle devices, things like that, phones. Yeah, like, what is your like?
Favorite piece of tech?
Your
Like that?
your favorite piece of tech that you own, and we're not going to go all around the table. I don't think we have time for that, but I guess
Mine's really easy.
okay. Go ahead, Dyer. What do you?
Wireless keyboard and mouse combo.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. Like I have one of those right now.
That's the best.
Wait a minute! This is wireless! I can switch the cameras without my arm hanging over.
Oh my
I
god.
wondered when you'd realize.
All right, man.
It only took him an hour to realize
All
that.
right, we got it now. We can change the cameras. Well, thank you, Dyer.
I'm probably gonna have to go with. I mean, it's kind of wasn't really a piece of. It was kind of the guy kind of like made is switching out the subwoofer from a surround sound system and wiring it into my 2.1 computer speakers because the subwoofer that came with that was terrible.
You have
It
that
cried.
you have that satisfaction though that I made this.
Yeah, I made it, but it's probably one of my favorite pieces of tech too. Like it makes everything so much nicer. But if that doesn't count, then I would have to say my tablet. I don't really like it anymore, but when I first got it, I loved it. And now I just kind of like, I have my phone. It works.
Well, okay, Steph.
Brings a little fun.
What is your favorite piece of tech that you got right now? Like, is there something that stands out other than your Xbox 360, which we already talked about?
I really like my 60-inch TV.
Oh, that is a fair point. I got Dyer's like inching this little tiny phone. And she's like, no, I got my 60-inch, hanging up on the wall.
CD Gun has a nice question there. If we have time for another question.
Sure, go ahead. What's
the worst game you've ever played?
I've got one for that, but my favorite piece of tech, I think, is the Wii U gamepad.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people love it, some people hate it, but okay.
It does so much.
Greatest example is if you're watching Netflix.
Exactly.
Okay, and you have to leave the room, you can take the pad with you and keep watching whatever you were watching with just a simple swipe.
The one day, I was sitting and watching Christopher Titus on YouTube. And MC came out and was like, oh, I want to watch Cosmo stream. So I just took my headphones, plugged them in a gamepad, and was watching Christopher Titus on the gamepad while he was watching Cosmo on the TV.
Yeah.
It's Team Cosmo shirt.
Yeah, I just showed it off while you were talking.
But yeah, like that's something I really like.
Or
about
even if you're playing, like, we have Super Metroid downloaded. If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
playing a game like that and you have to leave the room, say to go to the bathroom, I don't know, you can take that with you and you keep playing around the game.
Ours doesn't reach the bathroom here. It makes me sad. I can't poop while playing Majora.
Thank God. That's my collector's edition Zelda gamepad. You ain't bringing that into my bathroom, boy.
He would be in there forever.
I know! It would be great.
That's just like I was thinking to myself. I was like, you know what? I can do some bathroom gaming. I got
Yeah,
this 3DS. I
take
can
a
go in
bath.
between once and I was like, no,
Take a
this is
bath.
not go. Take a bath.
Well, no, you wouldn't drop, like...
If you bring any of my technology near that bath, you're gonna die. son.
Can I just say personally that texting in the bathtub does not work out?
I used to text in the shower. I would take my phone and put it in a plastic bag.
Oh my God! Can you
And I could
take
text
50
or listen
minutes
to music.
not text?
Or listen to music. Like, I would put it in a bag and put it, like, up on the ledge and listen to music while I was in the shower. I didn't want to bring my speakers into the bathroom.
I like long baths.
Well, enjoy the bath, and don't enjoy your technology. It's like we live in a world that's like so much technology. Like, look at
Yeah,
Jim.
but-
Look at Jim with his freaking iPad. Over
I hate
there.
this thing.
You can get
Yes.
clean and communicate.
I will trade you my
I
Galaxy
can
Tab.
clean and communicate.
Oh,
Clean and
no.
communicate
I was
from
gonna say, I will
Steph.
trade you my Galaxy Tab for it. It's slightly smaller, but
I
it's
read books
a
in the
droid.
bathtub.
Well,
Paper.
wait. I was just about
They
to
still
say-
make those?
Paper.
So,
What happens if you drop that in the
so
tablet
Liz,
or dryer?
how's your phone doing again?
It got
It
wet.
fell in the toilet.
Oh,
It
that's
no
Christmas.
worky. It broke back.
And that's
It
why
worked
Alex
for a
isn't
while.
allowed to bring the DS
So
in there.
you were asking what is the
Worst
game.
Worst game.
Yeah, worst game you've
Mine-
ever played. Just
Well,
over time.
mine's actually I think it might be the worst game ever. It's like either that or E.T.
I love DT. Well, for
Some
the
of you
for
might
the
know it's
Atari.
on Nintendo 64. I wonder if anyone else is going to say it. They'll probably say it, but they'll still hear me say it in a second. Nintendo 64, worst game I ever played. Actually played it when it came out. Superman 64.
I knew you were going to say that as soon as you said N64.
Yeah, played it for real.
We
Like,
have
actually
ET
bought it.
We have ET for
Yeah.
the Atari here.
We do.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
We have a working Atari, and we've got like 50, 60 games for it. So
Oh wow, nice.
I mean, I'm still finding more at my parents, but yeah.
I mean, like, I've never played the ET one, but Superman 64 is the worst game I've ever played in my life.
I actually
And this
almost
is
got
like-
a copy of it down when we were in Florida. We went to that game shop,
Was it
and
down there?
I saw it. and I was like, I'm going to buy this, and I'm going to play this. And then I was like,
If you had bought it, I probably would have tried to get in the world record on the speedrun for it, just to say I have
No one
one.
plays it.
No one plays it. That's why.
It's like Zelda's Adventure.
I've been like, I'll do it. Whatever.
Hey, you talking to the world record holder for Zelda's Adventure over here?
Oh.
Yeah. I like how a lot of chat actually did get it. They were shouting it out as I'm watching it scroll by. But yeah.
I
But Blip
have-
is going for Glover. By the way, shoutouts to Blip because
Hi, Blip.
Yeah, there you go.
I have two. It's a toss-up between the original Spider-Man for like GameCube or PlayStation 2 or whatever. The
You like
original
the original
Spider-Man
Spider-Man?
game.
You didn't like the original Spider-Man?
If you touch the ground, you die. There is no ground in the game.
Oh, yeah, that one.
You have to swing around everywhere. Like, I love it. Spider-Man 2 is an awesome game. I loved it. But, like, the first one, and then there was a game for GameCube. It was a Mega Man game. I thought it was going to be, like...
What, Mega Man Legends?
I don't even think it was
Or
that. It was weird. It was a side-scroller, but the boss battles were in 3D, and it was in Japanese.
I remember that game. Yeah,
I
we couldn't
was
get past
terrible.
the first god. First boss.
I really couldn't. I was like, I really want my
Do we know
money
what
back.
that game is, chat? Do we Battle Network?
No, was it Battle Network? It was for the GameCube.
Yeah, it was Battle Network for the GameCube.
Oh.
That's
And
what
I
it
was like, I love the Battle Network series. It's gonna be awesome.
yeah, that's what I thought.
And
when
then
we
it
rented
came,
it.
and then I plugged in. And I'm like, what is this crap? And then I tried it, and maybe it was network transfer. I don't really know, but I took it back, and we actually got our money back from GameStop. Like, I went in with Sam, me and Andy's sister, and she's like, just give him his money back. He really didn't like it. He just wants an exchange, so like I got a different game instead. But I was so disappointed with it because I'm a huge Mega Man fan.
Network
transmission,
transmission is
maybe,
what the
yeah.
chat is saying. So,
That's one of the hardest games.
Oh, it was terrible.
does anybody else have like a worst game of all time?
The first Siren game,
Siren?
Siren?
Never heard of it.
the Siren series. I think it's kind of supposed to be like Silent Hill. It's a Japanese game.
Okay.
I mean, it takes place in Japan. Go figure.
Oh,
Yeah, the Battle Network series for Game Boy.
Well, I'm really big into the Silent Hill series.
Right.
And so when I saw this game, I read them back, and it sounded really cool, and I'm looking at the screenshots on the back of the case. I was like, I'll give this a shot. I rented it. I played it for about 15 minutes. I was like, what is this crap?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't scary. It was impossible to figure out, in my opinion. I mean, it was just horrible.
I don't know the game at all.
Battletoads.
Yeah. All right.
Anyone else have one? MC.
me?
Yeah. Worst game you've ever played.
Worst game? I mean, technically, it actually has to be Zelda's Adventure. It is a bad game, but I really like it.
Not. Well, I mean, like bad, and you didn't like it. Like
Bad, and I didn't like it.
yeah, that's kind of what we were going with.
I don't have any. I don't remember off the top of my head anything.
I just can't think of anything right now.
Okay, I think we're gonna take one more question from the chat. So, chat, do you have anything that you can?
Adventures of Yogi Bear. Deadliest Catch Simulator. Oh god.
Find a good question here. Give us the questions, chat. What
Yeah,
do we,
well, let's get one more question in here before we.
I know someone earlier. There's a question I saw that.
What was it?
What's your most anticipated game of the next year?
Ooh.
all right,
Okay,
most
that's a good
anticipated
one.
game. Well, that's.
There's like I already
Joke.
mentioned mine, but mine is straight up. I think they're hinting at it being next year's Fallout 4.
Nice.
I will die.
You're gonna yell at me this. You're gonna yell at me this. I've never played Fallout.
That's okay.
I mean, I played the Elder Scrolls series, and I know it's. I mean, it's
After-
another. I really want to. I
My
just
boyfriend
never
plays
have.
it
I
religiously.
played Fallout 3, but that was before I played Skyrim. And I was really against getting Skyrim for the longest time. Then I finally broke down and got it. I was like, this game is awesome.
Yeah.
So now I kind of want to play. I've been toying with the idea of trying to play Fallout again now that I understand
Yeah.
the
Go with
mechanics
New
of
Vegas.
how that kind of game is supposed to work.
Go play New Vegas. It's really good. Some people, I like Fallout 3 a lot, but if I had to pick between Fallout 3 or New Vegas, I would pick New Vegas.
Nick loves New Vegas.
And that's just, it seems like some people have their choices either way.
The only thing
Yeah.
I don't quite understand how it works, and I'm sure it's a good system, is like in Skyrim you had, it's sword and shield and magic versus their sword and shield and magic, but in Fallout you have guns.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just
It was hard to.
That's
I guess
your
the
friend.
power system, for lack of a better term, confuses me when you add guns into the mix.
Yeah, it still works well though. Like VATS is your friend. Like I usually go for, I'm not gonna get into like builds and stuff like that, but there's different ways you can work things. You can go melee if you want.
While you're getting shot, just beat him in the face.
Or you make a gigantic sledgehammer made out of a fire hydrant ripped out of the ground.
Nice.
That's a weapon,
I want to play this game now.
It
It sounds like Dead Rising, but cooler.
So I mean, there's plenty of ways you can do it. You can do melee, you can do all that stuff, but what shifted from Skyrim to Fallout series, or at least the new iterations of Fallout, is just basically the lack of VATS in Skyrim and blocking, maybe, But everything else is there. It's just like an RPG, any other one, where you put skills and different things, strength, intelligence, all that stuff.
I'm going to say my most anticipated title. I don't know if it's coming out this next year or not. Division. The new Tom Clancy game coming out.
Oh yeah.
The trailer for it, the
Didn't he
playthrough.
die?
What?
Tom Clancy, didn't he die?
It's still just
It's a brand.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
that looks
like, I saw it at E3 and we were watching, and I'm like, this looks amazing. And then at the end, it showed the Tom Clancy logo. I'm like,
I mean, that's the thing, though, is like
I've never played a Tom Clancy game I liked, and then
Yeah.
they showed that. I'm like, oh my god, I want this so bad.
Most games with a Tom Clancy title are usually pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, I just never really got into it.
I never got into them either.
Yeah.
And honestly, even with E3 though, it looks amazing. I didn't want to get my hype up yet though,
Yeah.
because it's E3 and it's trailer E3.
Yeah.
It's not like
Well, no, it was a scripted playthrough, like
Yeah.
walkthrough,
It looked
showing
really cool.
gameplay, and I was like,
But I was like, let me see it. Let
if
me
it's
see an actual
anything- yeah.
gameplay
If-
trailer, then I'll decide if I'm gonna.
if
buy
it's
it or not.
anything like it, like that seamless division into like the PvP from like running like that little like fighting that elite, it's just like, oh, there's PvP coming, there's other players. I was like, hi, I want you. Please be here soon.
Oh, I know the game you're talking about.
Oh my god.
I'm running through all the
And, like,
the
the
games
dude-
that I
the
saw
dude
like in
came out,
E3
like-
When were they
and
came on with the tab.
Yeah,
it was
The
controlled
map
by-
on the ground.
They were
Yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah.
The
about
map on the
the
ground.
the
Yeah.
HUD and the.
Oh, I want so bad.
What are you looking forward to, Liz?
What am I looking forward to?
Next year.
I'm out of water.
Watch
Yeah, me too.
Dogs.
Watch Dogs
Oh,
does like
yeah.
actually
That
look
was-
pretty
that's-
good.
yeah,
I
it was a
mean,
close second for me.
it feels like it feels like how do I say this? Future Assassin's Creed, but with
Yeah,
hacking.
I mean,
I can see that.
And I mean that's I mean you're not going to stab people. You're more just kind of like. I mean, it's by
Stealing
Ubisoft.
information.
I mean,
I think
Ubisoft likes to make very.
I
Similar
think
games,
Assassin's
I'd
Creed
say.
is eventually going to get to that point, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's
where
what
it's
they're-
going to take place in present day completely.
As does.
we don't.
Well,
have,
I don't know if they're gonna bring Desmond back.
Story
I don't tell me. I have not played 3, so
Spoilers.
I have no idea
Spoil-
what's going on.
Well,
careful
let's bring the
spoilers.
spoilers down.
I've
a
not played
notch.
3,
Bring them
so
down.
if that has anything to do with anything after 3,
Yeah.
whatever.
I have a
I've played
third
Revelations.
Theory that Abstergo is Ubisoft.
Well, actually, when I was watching something, there was a review of Assassin's Creed, 4, and they said that when you're walking through Abstergo, their Abstergo
That for
game,
6 hours.
whatever the place you're walking around is it's likely very strongly based on Ubisoft,
Right.
one of their offices.
I'm looking forward to Smash Brothers. Anybody excited for Smash?
yeah.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
I'm,
That's a good topic about that.
I forgot about that. I mean, I honestly forgot about it. Like I thought until I got here that it was already out.
a Krypo, the
You
new
know.
thief.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will say I'm still
Wait,
extremely
you mean
hyped for the
Archipo?
Mega Man playable character.
Yeah, Archipo, yeah.
You know, so.
Archipo.
Yeah. The new thief looks really cool.
That hasn't come out yet, has
No.
it?
What about you,
Never
Jim?
heard of.
You looking forward to anything?
I'm looking forward to few games. The newest Metal Gear Solid game, Metal Gear Solid 5.
I bought the entire collection against my will. It was entirely like my subconscious buying it. I was like, "Hey, wow! Look, this is the entire Metal Gear collection. I've never seen the entire Metal Gear collection. I didn't know they were made
What was
that.
the
I
whole
should
thing
buy
for
that.
what, like $40?
50, but
50 bucks.
But
I
that's
mean,
still.
Well,
if you were to
what,
buy
4
each
games?
game individually, though, it would be.
Oh
through
yeah,
the
yeah.
roof.
I mean, so that's what my brain told me. Was
But
like,
it had.
you have to buy
It
this
has
now.
every game though.
Yeah, it had everyone.
Oh, and there was another one. I'm currently beta testing it. Actually, is the Elder Scrolls Online. It's looking good.
Yeah.
Through the beta. I mean, I can't really say anything because
It's a
NDAs.
closed beta, yeah.
Yeah. NDAs, so I can't say anything. But
I'm in
it's
the
looking-
beta too.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
You've not
I have not opened it.
Oh.
I've been playing Zelda in the podcast.
Why don't you let
Send my
me
email. I
beta
would have
test
gotten
it?
notified for that.
Let me
Shake
beta
my
test
fist on
it.
both
I am the
screens.
MMO player in the house. Let me beta test it.
No.
please.
No. Get your own acceptation.
I can't get in.
Well, what about
I
you?
haven't
You looking
tried.
forward to selling stuff? You're looking kind of. You're looking at me a little weird.
Deer in the headlights look.
You- what?
I have to go to the bathroom.
I'm familiar with that game.
Go now, because you have trivia next. So go quick.
Whoa, camera.
Oh,
Camera.
Oh.
Camera.
What did you do?
She moved that
Bump the
camera.
I didn't do anything.
see what it looks like.
Let's take. Oh, what have you done?
There we go.
There we go.
There's a bunch of games that I'm looking forward to. Watch Dogs, like Liz said. Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't think there's even been an estimated release date for that. I don't know. There's also a horror game that was shown at E3. I cannot for the life of me remember what it was called.
I think I may know the one you're talking about.
There
There
was
was
one
one
or
or two
two.
of them. Yeah.
And they both look like they're going to be pretty decent.
There's the one I looked. I watched like some stuff on it recently. There's one where you can't like see the ground. They're like that heightens like you can't see the ceiling or the ground. I guess like you can't really look down far enough to see the ground.
You're
so
floating.
not floating, but you're walking. But you can't like you can't. Evil Within, was that it?
Might have been.
That's the one where you can't look at the ground. I'm pretty sure. Like
The one commercial or trailer that I remember seeing, it was the camera was panning to the side, and it looked like it was on some kind of hospital, and it was going from hallway to hallway, and everything looked, beaten up, destroyed, and then it
that stuff. That's not the Evil Within. Then.
it got to this other hallway, and there was this creepy little girl doll that was floating in the air, and the camera zoomed in on it. And that's the only thing I remember from that trailer. And
The Evil Within trailer, you're upside down in and like bodies on meat hooks like around you, like, bleeding out, and you're like upside down. You're like, oh crap, what do I do?
I just thought of a good game that came out this year that was good. Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider was
Tomb
really
Raider was good, yeah.
Hey, I played 5 minutes of that. That was fun.
I watched that.
I'm trying to communicate via like signs
Your
here.
face
Welcome
itches.
back.
No.
Welcome
Do you
back.
need a tissue?
Welcome back.
No.
Welcome back.
You do though.
I do?
Yeah. It's been bothering me since eating it.
I really want to hear more about Guardian. Or like The Last Guardian. We got that teaser at like E3 last year.
Is that game ever coming out?
We've heard nothing since that thing like at E3. Like
That's being made by the Shadow of the Colossus people, isn't it?
yes, it was like there was like a year or like the 2 years, not this most recent one, but the year before that
Did I
was
get
like
it?
the teaser about it. Yeah, you're good. And like I've not heard anything at all since like that.
All right, Alex. I think we got to end this question section off.
All right.
We're not going to take questions from the chat for the future. We'll have like a post discussion after the show. So
Yeah.
if you're here watching live, don't worry. we'll
If
talk
you
to
do have any other questions for future podcasts, submit them to temporarypodcast@gmail.com with the subject line viewer question, okay? Yeah, so we do our... thanks everyone for watching. Follow us on Twitter and check
Wait,
out
we're
our
not
site.
done yet.
No, you crackhead.
Learn to read. Learn how to read, yo.
Way to steal my line, Slick.
I'm sorry!
You skipped the
No, that
whole
is my
thing.
line. That is my line. I'm red.
Yeah, but we're not done yet.
If you have oh no, that's trivia question.
Okay.
These people, they can't read. It's time for trivia, I think.
I'm sorry!
wants my trivia.
All right, so it's trivia time. Would you like to explain how this will work?
I'm not sure how it works.
All right, I'll explain how this works.
We'll not watch chat during it. Feel free to shout it out. I don't know what that means.
Ask questions, have fun.
Trivia questions. Turns off chat.
All
Bye,
right.
chat.
So chat room, here's what's going to happen. Steph is going to ask us here inside the room some trivia questions. Try to keep them from our eyes. And we're going to try to answer them here inside the room. Everybody playing at home, go ahead. I'm just going to hit 5.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
How do I determine who wants to answer first?
It says we just shout it out.
We're just going to shout it out. So,
Okay.
all right. So we're going to do some
I
trivia.
want Simple to play this game. I love it when he has to shout something out because he's like,
I remember we used to be back in high Q, which was
Yep.
and we would be like, it'd be like,
Or
what
the
is
clicker.
what is the planet following Earth? Mars. It's like,
And you have to click instead. Like you can't.
Yeah,
it
he was
a
like-
clicker.
all right, so I got some
Anyway.
questions, and these were submitted on Twitter. I'll tell you how to submit them in the
I think I've
future.
actually I entered one of these questions actually
Oh
into
well,
the poll. Like,
I only wrote down
10.
10.
oh,
So,
well, yeah.
all right, so give us some questions, Steph. What do we got?
Okay, which is the best-selling Zelda game of all time?
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, it has to be Ocarina of Time. I don't know why I got so spooked at first. I was like, duh.
Okay, what is the first electronic device by Sony?
Walkman.
No,
No.
no.
Really?
It goes
Really?
older. We're going older than Walkman. Was it a TV of sorts?
Wasn't a computer.
Radio?
VCR.
Betamax.
Do you want me to give you the answer?
Give us a hint. You guys do.
Speakers?
It is not something that you use like technologically, like a computer or
But it's an electronic
Something
device.
A toaster.
Yeah, was it
along those lines.
Blender.
Refrigerator.
Stove.
Microwave.
A toaster oven?
Blender.
Blender.
a food processor?
A Cuisinart.
Spatula!
Is it a kitchen item?
Yes.
But then how?
These two will really like the
Toaster
answer.
oven.
Microwave.
Grill.
Oh, really like the answer?
Can I
Griddle.
say the
A
answer?
bacon cooker?
They would like the answer because
Okay,
the
alright.
answer is a rice cooker.
There are actually 3 right
Wow.
Dear.
3, sorry. Alright.
What do we have next?
Who is the creator of The Legend of Zelda?
Yeah.
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah. I was going to say Iwata, but I feel like you would have
Oh my god.
I don't know their names. I'm sorry. I only know right.
Alright, next.
I'm not
What
too
is-
versed with their.
The second to last temple in Twilight Princess. Mike!
Crap.
I've not played
House of
Twilight.
Twilight.
Yes.
Alright.
I've not played
Zelda
Twilight
questions? Really? Twitter followers?
Yeah.
I've not played Twilight Princess all the way. I've gotten through the first temple and stopped.
Alright. How many Pokemon were in the original Pokemon game?
152.
151.
Close.
150.
Close.
Oh, it's
150.
150.
150.
150 official.
Yeah.
But
There's
there's.
missing number doesn't count as a Pokemon.
Neither does, well... I
Do you
guess-
know the actual explanation
so it's
behind
like, was
No, Mew wasn't
Mew-
added till, I think, Yellow.
Mew wasn't in there, really?
I don't think it was not till
Mewtwo
Yellow.
was first, then Mew? That makes my brain go giggly. Okay, next question, I guess.
For the
Wasn't
longest
Missing
time,
No
Mew
just
wasn't
like-
available except
It was three,
except
I
at
think
conventions.
once Yellow, once...
I'm trying to
was when
think.
you
Was it?
could
Isn't there an
start getting
official
it.
explanation to Missing No? Wasn't it like like the pre-evolved version of Genghis Khan? And that they decided to get rid of it, but they didn't want to program, so they just like put that line of code in like a random part of the game.
There's more than just Missing No in terms of village
Yeah.
Pokemon in the game. It just so happens to be.
But like that's what
famous.
the explanation I've read in several different places is it was like a pre-evolved version of some Pokemon, and like last minute they decided instead of reprogramming that entire taking that line of code and moving it, and then
Huh.
that's why it's 0-0 missing no missing like the no being number or something whatever.
Missing number, yeah.
Yeah, and it has that weird texture is because they just got lazy and didn't feel like redoing it.
Next
It's not
question.
creepy at all. It's just that.
Next trivia question, Steph.
Who was the original creator of Tetris?
Some
it's-
Russian
it's,
dude.
It's
Yeah.
it starts with Patronov
The
something.
last name does.
Yeah. I'm going by last name.
I don't
I'm
know.
doing-
He's a Russian
know-
dude.
yeah, I
I
know
just know
it's
that.
Russia.
It's
Something
Russian,
that
yeah.
ends with ski.
Oh no, yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. So.
Alexei
Pajitnov.
Pajitnov. Something.
Alexei Pazin.
Yeah, Pajitnov. Yeah. Pajitnov? Maybe, I don't know.
Nice.
Maybe it's silent J.
Yeah, silent J.
I know.
But yeah, I knew that at least.
First 5 tiers are silent.
All right. What is the full release date of Nintendo 64 in Japan?
Oh, well, you should not have accepted that one. In Japan,
I don't know.
Was that-
I don't
it-
remember when it came out in America.
is it 1998 at least?
No.
97.
No.
96?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they got it 2 years before us?
Okay, November 23rd.
Nope.
November, was it November?
No. But
June?
you got the date right.
June 23rd.
June 23rd, 1996.
Oh.
They got it a year, 2
Whoa.
years, and 3 months
Get on my
before.
level.
All right, what do we got next then?
All right. Which is the best-selling video game console of all time?
The Wii.
No.
NES.
No.
The Atari.
Nope.
Commodore 64.
This
No.
PlayStation.
Xbox
No.
360.
No. No.
Let's all
I'm just throwing them out there.
That's
The
silly
Game
for
Boy.
console of
No.
all
Game
time.
Boy Color.
Nope.
Game Boy Advance.
It's old.
Wait, the
that's
Nintendo
right.
DS?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Man,
I know. In the past
I thought it was
generation,
handheld.
the past generation, the best selling was the Wii. It kicked butt in sales.
Well, yeah,
over
but-
everything else.
All right, what do we got next?
What is
we had
used
three
as
years.
currency in the game Dark Souls?
Souls.
Yes.
Never played it, but that's just common sense. I think.
All right, last question. What is the only grass type move Pikachu can learn?
Cut. No.
No.
Well.
Razor Leaf.
No.
Razor Leaf. Pikachu can.
Trying to think of grass type moves. Growth?
No.
Scratch.
No.
That's
not-
normal
I
type.
don't know.
It's not Solar Beam, is it? That would be kind of
It
cool.
just
if
comes
you
out
could
of like
do
the
that, though.
electric things on his cheeks.
I'll give you a hint. It starts with grass.
Yeah. Thank you, stuff.
I'm full
So
of
generous.
It
information.
starts with grass.
Grass cut.
I have no idea.
It is grass knot.
Never heard of it.
Grass knot.
Grass knot.
What generation?
It must
is
be a
this?
new
I
one.
don't know.
That has to be new because I've never heard of that move.
All right.
They all
Oh yeah, look at them. There you go.
What generation was that though? It has to be generation I've ever played because I've only played up to Sapphire. Like that's the last one I ever played. Sapphire and then Leaf Green.
All right, Mr. Andy, can you tell the people how
Fourth, okay.
they are to submit questions for our next episode? More trivia.
I've not played
If you
that.
have a trivia question for the next episode, email it to temporarypodcast@gmail.com with the subject line trivia.
All right, very good.
All right, and I think that's all for tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. Follow us on Twitter and check out our website
Which is temporarypodcast.com and
/hello
no.
///.
By the way, I just wanted to give a quick shout out, my friends. Give a quick on shout out to our Twitter. I think I'm going to shout out somebody in chat. It's at Temp Podcast. We couldn't get anything better. But,
Hey, it works, right?
Temp Podcast. And for everybody sitting in our chat watching our first live stream, our first show of the reboot, thank you all for being here. Well, we're going to chat with you after the recording is done here in just a second. But let me hit this button over here.
This is our song of the week.
All right, so if everybody you want to leave a song of the week next week, shoot an email over to temporarypodcast@gmail.com. It must be a gaming song, and give the subject line "Song of the Week." And this song is the DK Rap. So thank you all for watching. See you guys next week on Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Bye bye.
Of the bunch, you know me well. He's finally back.
All right, couch dance party. Oh man,
Dire, do your dire.
do the diet.
Do the wiggle!
Which is ironically the same dance the Druid does. They do the twist.
What's Andy? You got it.
Trees, Druids.
Oh yeah.
The healer, the tree of life, they do the twist.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's all I got. So that's the dire dance. He does the twist.
Do the twist, bitch. That's all I got.
A little
So
twist.
late.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ciao!
Au revoir.
Jingle day!
And that's where I'll